Hey, welcome to the channel, A Collector's Life for Me. Today we're going to be showcasing Lion-O from Thundercats. So Lion-O from Thundercats, some might say any Thundercats collection wouldn't be complete without this figure, but I honestly don't think you could start a Thundercats collection without this figure. And what a great figure it is. I think this is probably my favorite figure in the line all around. Not my favorite character, but as far as what they've done with this figure for the line, I just think it's perfect. So this is the Mattel Classics. So this is the first version of this scale of Thundercats Lion-O. They did reproduce the Super 7 Ultimates line, and I don't have that. I didn't feel a need to replace this one, so I can't compare them side by side. I've looked at the packaging of the Super 7 and compared it to this figure, and it doesn't actually seem like they changed too much. I'm sure if you compared them side by side, the paint jobs would probably be quite different or noticeably different. But as far as the sculpt and the body, looks very similar. So we'll go ahead and get into his accessories. He doesn't have many. It was something the Mattel line, they didn't include as many accessories as the Super 7 line. So right now I've got him with his glove and Sword of Omens on his hip. So he has this little hip peg. So we're just going to pop that off there. You can see it right there. And take that off. So that's just a one-piece mold. You can't take the shortened sword out or anything. And then it's got this little plug here. The hip point, it's stiff, so that's good. I don't like when they're too rubberized because it's difficult to put the accessory on or off, and I think it breaks easier. He only came with 3 hands total, so he has two grip hands, and then another grip hand that is his left hand, but his thumb is down instead of in the up position. Not much variation there. And then he comes with his lion's paw glove with a small Sword of Omens that does fit in and out. So I guess you could technically say this is a 4th hand because it is a peg joint. It doesn't slide over his current hand. So if we wanted to put this on, we do have to remove that hand and then pop this one right in there, and boom. So now he's got that. And then while he's wearing that, if he wants to have his Sword of Omens kind of sheathed, let's see, I think it slides in a little further. Now while he's wearing it, doesn't quite slide in as deep as it does when it's not on him, but that's what it looks like. It's cool, it's there. I think that's a nice feature. That's definitely something they paid attention to. Gave you a little playability or posability with that feature. And then Lion-O. What Lion-O would be complete without an actual Sword of Omens extended? So here that is. I think it's better detailed than the other versions I've seen. And so I'm not sure if that's something that changed. I don't know what the sword looks like that actually comes with Lion-O for the Super 7 figure, but I compared this to the one that comes with Pumra, and this is a better sword in my opinion. So there he is with that. So that's all the accessories this figure comes with. I did find this key in with my accessories that were packaged with Lion-O, but this actually came with Panthro, of the same line, the Mattel Classics Panthro, and that's that there. So Lion-O, as most know, he's a child, pretty much. When he was sent to Third Earth, his space pod malfunctioned, so he actually grew in physical form. He grew up in physical form, but mentally he still stayed a child. He's actually the same age as Willy Kit and Willy Cat. So imagine sticking one of them into a full-grown body. Really cool dynamic on Lion-O, honestly. I mean, who wouldn't want to be... you love the movie Big growing up. There's movies like that, Jack, where 13 going on 30, the whole idea of a young person stuck in an older person's body and what you would do differently in life. I mean, it's a great concept. Vice versa, it's a little tougher, but that's fun too. You know, it's not quite Freaky Friday. I feel like Freaky Friday, the kid trapped in the adult body can have more fun getting in trouble and doing stuff than the child or the adult trapped in a child's body. But that's the story of Lion-O. So, you know, he's immature and he has to learn how to be a leader. He learns from Jaga mostly, but he's also got the other Thundercats, Chitara, Tigra, and Panthro, who are full grown, to learn from. So great concept on that. Lion-O is probably what gets people into Thundercats in the first place. He's got cool weapons, cool accessories, and then a pretty cool backstory. So there he is. Let's get it close. So also the Super 7 figure comes with an additional head sculpt where his mouth is open. So Mattel only did one head sculpt on these, but it's a very clean head sculpt. Another thing to notice, you know, about Lion-O that is a classic feature is his mane. You know, his hair, it's always big, it's always flowing. Just looks cool. So we'll set him over here. So I have a couple other things. We'll show off the box art. Give that a little closer. So this is the Mattel Classics box art there. Always a fan of this. When they put art and some information on the character on the packaging. And then there's the blister side for display. I do think the Super 7 line does have a better display package than the Mattel Classics. So there's that. Now I'll show you this guy. This is actually the Bondi Lion-O that came out not too long before this. I know these were at Toys R Us in the late 2000s or the 2010. I'm not sure the exact date on these. I'm sure it's got a... So the Mattel Classics was 2016. These don't seem to have a date. I do know these came out beforehand. So this is the only figure I have in that line, just because it's Lion-O. I think if you were going after this scale of figure in a more play type scenario versus a display type or a children's toy action figure, this guy's awesome. Great joints, great scale. You know, comes with the sword and the glove. I believe he comes with a mini one too. I don't know where it is, but it does slide in there. But if I was a kid, I'd be playing with this for days. The only problem I saw was that they didn't make very many of them. So at some point, they either weren't selling or they weren't popular enough because they switched off to the new animated show figures, which were the much smaller scale, the practically 3 3/4, maybe slightly bigger, which were great for playability, and they had the show behind that. Whereas this is the original line. So if you were a kid and you saw this in the store and you had no idea what Thundercats was, you might think it was cool, but it would be tough to get into it if you don't have the show associated with it to play along. So I know they made a Tigra and I think a Mumra, and that might have been it. Maybe Chitara, but they didn't go very far in the line. But I'm still a fan of this figure, especially as, you know, what you would consider a toy type figure. And then I've got the loyal subjects, Lion-O and Snarf. There's Snarf there. And he was always a kind of fun, annoying character, much like an I Am Groot, where he's got his one line, he just says it in different tones, and you know, they either know or don't know what he's saying. And then here's the loyal subjects. Lion-O, big fan of these guys. I think these are like the perfect mini scale posability, head sculpt, paint job. They did a great job with these. So I would have a fun time maybe collecting the rest of the line of these for display purposes. A big fan of those. And let's really get nostalgic and show off the original. This is my original. He's so well loved. He doesn't even have his peg joint to control his arm, so we'll just have to do that on our own. I still have the glove, still have the sword. He is filthy, but he's also like 30 years old. So this is the actual, realistic aged Lion-O now. So that's what that looks like. I mean, I had probably about 10, maybe 12 Thundercats figures in the Thunder Tank. That thing's in terrible shape. It's not even salvageable. Missing parts, has a few broken parts on it. But I had a lot of fun with these toys. And I think that the Snarf you can only get with a Thunder Tank. And I do have that on pre-order, the Super 7 Thunder Tank. That thing, too cool to pass up, even though it's not cheap. So hopefully when that drops, they've pushed it back. They've delayed it a few times, which might be a good thing. Can't wait to open that up and see what that's like. But that's my showcase for today. Lion-O gets his proper dues, his proper treatment. Thundercats wouldn't be Thundercats without this character, to be honest. So, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Check out my other Thundercats showcase videos, as well as other collectibles and toy showcase videos. And beyond that, enjoy the rest of your day.